Now this, President Trump, he wants $15 billion worth of spending cuts by the federal government. Our next guest really likes that idea. She says the deficit, you just got to rein it in. Joining us now is Kelli Ward, Republican Senate candidate from Arizona. Kelli, I don't think the votes are there in Congress to cut spending. If you want to cut spending, you have to have help from the Democrats, and they're never going to give you any help to cut spending. Where am I going wrong?
Well, I think you're right, but I think the biggest problem we face right now is the Republicans. Look at the bill that Senator Rand Paul proposed to balance the budget in 5 years by simply cutting 1 penny from every dollar that the federal agencies and federal departments spend. We had 21 Republicans vote for it, but there were almost 30 that voted against it. So people are tired of the campaign conservatism that we're seeing across the board and across the country. People saying one thing when they run for office and then going to Washington, D.C. and doing the opposite. We saw it with the omnibus bill. The omnibus bill, but it busted every budget cap that Congress put on itself. And only one Republican voted for that, Stu, and that was Martha McSally from Arizona. And it's time to send different people to Washington who are fiscally sane, who are pro-growth, who want to see our economy boom. Who want to see our economy boom.
We all want to do that. Now, you say you want to rein in that deficit. Good. I got you on that. But the real way to fix the deficit is to reform Social Security and reform Medicare and do something about Medicaid, entitlement programs. You have to do something about that, and you can't. That's the third rail of American politics.
Yes, I was just talking about that yesterday with a group of people in Scottsdale, and I did talk about it being the third rail of politics. However, it's the third rail of destruction of our country. We have to be willing to discuss those things. There can't be any sacred cows. So we do have to discuss how do we reform these programs so that they are long-lasting and can take care of people, help to take care of people for a long time into the future. When we look at Social Security, we should be looking at what countries like Chile have done. They implemented a program that allowed people to stay on the government side if they were fearful, but also allowed people to take a little bit more risk with their own money. And what they found was that people who were able to take that risk were able to have a much more comfortable retirement period than the people who stayed on the government dole.
If I was your political opponent, the first thing I'd say to you in any kind of debate would be, you're taking away my Social Security. You're taking away my Medicare. Shame on you. You would be demagogued to death.
Right, and we never would take away Social Security or Medicare from people who are using it right now. But we certainly have to look at what's going to happen with my children and their children and their children's children, because those programs simply won't be available. I hope we get debates, Stu. I hope we get them in the Republican primary, and I hope that we get them whenever it's I face Kirsten Sinema in the general before November. So I hope that we get to stand up on the stage side by side, head to head, and talk about the issues and the policies and our vision for our state, our nation, and our world. So far, my opponents have refused. Sheriff Joe and Martha McSally don't want to debate.
All right, Kelli, we'll have you back, and we'll continue this debate because it's extremely important. Kelli Ward, Arizona. Thanks for joining us. See you soon. All right.